Yo, what's up guys, welcome to another Warcraft replay here. This is going to be another Netease ladder game. I really want to go back to Nostalgicraft, but it's so hard to get hands on an actual old replay file, so yeah, this is my reasoning. That's pretty much it. I don't know why the colors of this. That's rather weird because I have FoCuS on as red. There we go, okay, that's what it was. I don't know why I kept clicking this for some reason, but yeah, floodplains. I'm pretty sure this is a 4-player map, so yeah, we'll see. This is a pretty lengthy one. It is featured on Replay's website, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. 120. I've already casted many of his games recently, and yeah, as always, he's been killing it. FoCuS, on the other hand, I have not casted him in so long. I think it was 4 months ago, the last time I cast him, but apparently he had a pretty big blunder in a recent tournament. I don't know, I just read the Reddit post, and yeah, that was rather a depressing read. Maybe FoCuS kind of had too much expectation for himself, and he was worried that, you know, his fans would probably discredit him for his miscomings, but honestly it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, all you have to do is just, you know, look past your mistakes and then go carry on, which FoCuS should be able to do, as yeah, we're just watching him play a ladder game. He's gonna go for a Shadowhunter first, which is mainly one of the reasons why I chose this replay. Shadowhunter first is probably not seen all too much, at least as far as I can tell. Ever since the hits on the Blade Master, I guess things have gone a little hectic for the Orc players. Mainly it has been Farseer first, at least for the initial beginning of 1.29, but as you can see here, Serpent Wards did get a little bit of a buff in terms of health and damage, and yeah, if you get like level 2, level 3 Sentry Wards, they do kind of do an insane amount of damage. I'm not sure how well they're gonna fare against destroyers, or if 120 is even gonna go destroyers, but Serpent Wards at least can fight back against destroyers. I don't actually know if Serpent Wards can get devoured by destroyers or not, because are they summoned units or are they wards? I don't actually know, but we'll see about that interaction. Early tier 2 for FoCuS. Meanwhile, 120 gonna stick with tier 1 for now. He did go for tiered opening, so yeah, there's that. No early harassment here for himself, just gonna go straight on farming. Floodplains is a rather big map, so it's kind of disadvantageous for skeleton harassment, and I mean, it's against Orc. You probably don't want to skeleton harass that much, and yeah, for now, Shadowhunter actually does both sides, just farming it out. Shadowhunter did hit 2, and he should probably have taken Hex just to ease his farming, I guess. Actually, I don't know. I have no idea how the Shadowhunter would play. I mean, Serpent Wards have shown up in the early iterations of Orc 1.29, but mainly as a second hero, so I'm actually curious to see how far this guy is gonna go as going first, because the benefit of going first hero is that you obviously put a lot more experience into him, and yeah, he'll probably get ideally level 5. I mean, I'm not sure how well level 6 is gonna affect him too much, but yeah, there is going to be that. Black Drake camp is being cleared out, and with decent ease, I guess. A lot of Serpent Wards being used to just anti-air that, as the Shadowhunter did indeed take Healing Wave instead of Hex, so yeah, I guess that's another tool to ease the farming there, but as you can see, Shadowhunter did take quite a beating, and of course he is kind of out of mana now, so Replenishment Potion is going to be really helpful. He actually gets a Black Drake, not Black Drake, a Dragonstone, so he will be able to summon a level 6 Drake for himself. This is not the level 10 one, so it's not too powerful. It can't actually devour, so a little unfortunate about that, but that is the limitation of the actual item. Level 10 Dragon would be kind of OP, I guess, when you are, I guess, not a human or an idol who has like the better anti-air. So gold mines being cleared out. I'm not sure if we're gonna lean towards any early expansions quite yet, but Skeleton going to go for some scouting. We'll be spotting that bestiary. I don't think it will have time to spot a potential second production building, but Torrent Chieftain is going to pop out very, very soon for FoCuS. So Shadowhunter, Torrent Chieftain, don't really see too much synergy there. It's two very supportive heroes, albeit Shadowhunter probably not as supportive as usual since he won't probably have Hex. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, as the Drake is going to be used for some Acolyte harassment, which probably not the best time to do it because Black Citadel is not actually on the way. So even killing an Acolyte at best would just be delaying tier 3. Actually, no. I guess that is as good as just cancelling tier 3. Never mind. Forget about that. But yeah, level 4 on Shadowhunter already, which is really, really good. Those Serpent Woods have been very, very helpful so far. Meanwhile, the Death Knight is still at level 3. Does have 2 claws of attack though, +9 and +6. So yeah, that is going to help a lot, especially with the Lich second. But here comes the Shadowhunter here. He will start placing down his Serpent Wards, and ideally FoCuS wants to steal this item as well. Will he get it? Will he not? Web's gonna get cast again, and the item is going to be Talisman of the Wild. So we have Furbolg being dropped periodically, I guess. So Death Knight did pick up the item, but he will take some losses, I guess. All he did lose was a Crypt Fiend or 2. But yeah, he was able to get the item. I don't know if he actually got the experience. I think he did indeed get the experience as well. Pawn to Gold Mine here from 120, which probably gonna get cancelled here, as I'm not sure how well the DK is gonna do with such low health. But here comes the Lich, and he can summon a third Furbolg if he wants a very nice surround onto the Shadowhunter there. We'll be forcing a TP very, very soon, as a long distance healing will be coming in for the Crypt Fiend, and no more mana for the Shadowhunter. That is probably going to be a dead Shadowhunter there. Oh, can he go for a snipe onto the Lich? Ensnare is going to be cast, but no real form of burst there to finish the job. And that will just be that will actually be the gold mine being saved. Funny enough, as I think this was a pocket not pocket factory, a pocket great hall. No, tier 3 is not done. So both players expanding. I guess that is the upside of having floodplains, which is a fairly big map actually. I'm not sure if this is bigger than Twisted Meadows. It probably is, since like most of, like, I guess a good 10-15% of the map is kind of those corner islands there, so it's a little deceptive. But yeah, this is pretty much probably the biggest map on the pool. Triple Furbolgs. I don't know if these guys actually have any special skills or passives, but they are decently tanky and they do alright damage, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's it pretty much. And losing them doesn't really matter too much, since they are summoned units. They do give diminished experience. But yeah, the Shadowhunter is going to be a bit of a problem once level 3 Serpent Wards come into play here. Death Knight at half health and very little mana, so it's kind of risky to stick around, but Scroll of the Beast will be used, and that does mean 120 is going to commit here. I completely forgot about this. Population is favoring FoCuS by about a good number, but level 2 has been gained for the Lich. He does have his double claws but no orb, so it is going to be, I guess, decent DPS output for him, as it seems the Grunts and Raiders are kind of struggling a little bit. Is going to use the Healing Wave to try and put them back to their feet, and with that Healing Wave I think that is kind of too much momentum for FoCuS. As I say that, a Frost Nova comes in and takes down a Raider. Kodo Beast comes out, and that might just be the fight won over for FoCuS, because if that Kodo gets a bite on that Crypt Fiend, it is pretty much those heroes by themselves there. So Surprise FoCuS is not going to go after that Crit Fiend, but regardless, I'm pretty sure FoCuS is going to just keep going. I mean, I keep saying all this, but FoCuS did lose another grunt from just a Death Coil there, so the undead spells is a bit too problematic for at least the non-hero units of FoCuS. Turn, I mean, he doesn't have the War Stomp just yet, as he is only level 1. Has Endurance Aura. He is very big. Oh, he has Bloodlust for some reason.
Our forces are under attack. Summoning is
Ah, there we go. Ogre Magi. Okay, I was wondering how on earth he got Bloodlust, but Ogre Magi does have Bloodlust indeed. I was like, did he actually finish a Spirit Lodge at all? Furball going for some Peasants here, and actually gonna kill one. Might be able to take two. Fortress Tech is on the way, but the Expand, on the other hand, of FoCuS of 120 is going to at least lose a Haunted Goldmine there. Any answers? We are gonna have an answer, but 17 supply difference between both sides. We do have a third hero, however, so the Dreadlord might be able to do something with a potential sleep. I don't know. It seems like the Dreadlord is just gonna get FoCuS fired immediately. The risk of going after this kind of attack if you are 120 is that FoCuS already placed down a couple of Serpent Wards, so he has a pretty good defensive positioning here. Nice War Stomp, and that might be the Dreadlord. The Death Knight does have a Death Coil available, and there we go. Back to full health, and I mean, even back to full health, that doesn't really matter too much. Kotobe's just instantly taken down a Crit Fiend there. Sleep is going to be used on the turn shifted to stop his War Stomp shenanigans, but it doesn't last too long. Koto actually gets taken down, and things might be a little bit difficult for FoCuS to continue things on now that a Destroyer is in the air. Dreadlord's still alive and kicking, but I'm pretty sure the Death Knight has no more mana left, as the the Dreadlord is going to get taken down. Shadowhunter is still alive and kicking, but he is now kind of struggling on mana as well. He is placing down Serpent Wards as soon as he can get them. I mean, all 120 needs to do is move away from the Serpent Ward range, and those Destroyers are continuing to absorb that Bloodlust there. But Troll Headhunter is going to maybe take down that one Destroyer finally. As surprisingly enough, it's 120 who maintains the solid supply number, and he is going to take over his opponent who dropped to 38. That's really surprising. He had about 17 supply of advantage, and he is now down by about, well, now 2, but that was a pretty severe loss there for our Orc player. Interesting. Hopefully things will turn around for himself in the future now that he has Troll Headhunters in play, so they will be able to deal with any potential Destroyers with ease. But all 120 needs to do is just add a little bit more on the Abominations and Crypt Fiend side, and even that would just be dealt with. Expansion is being hit, and will we have a defend? I'm not sure. We do have a TP scroll, and he is going to use it immediately. About even supply, I guess, but it is home court advantage for the Orc player. Double ensnares onto the Obsidian statues there, but the Frost Armor is going to sway those Orc units from advancing further. A nice War Stomp hitting most of those units there, but it is going to be a Raider that falls first. Dreadlord, I'm not sure why he's getting to the thick of it. That is rather suicidal for 120. With his Dreadlord there, is going to eat a Death Coil to heal back up to full. But yeah, that was a really weird positioning for that hero there. Serpent Wards, I mean, they are level 3, but it seems all 120 needs to do is just FoCuS fire at those Sentry Wards, and it is all good. Headhunters there, I mean, our Berserkers, yeah, they are not finding any Destroyers in there, so they are kind of struggling when facing off against those Crypt Fiends. Death Coil is going to snipe a Raider for himself. Nicely done there from 120. He's been really on point with his spells, able to pick up the low hit point stragglers. Every time FoCuS tries to advance, he just uses spells to just counteract that momentum. ensnare onto the Obsidian statue there. Is Frost Armor going to be enough? It doesn't seem like it, and the Obsidian statue is going to get taken down. Kotobe's not really in a good position, is right in the front, and is taking quite a bit of damage there, but nice, I guess, little flank here from the Orc player. Is going to trap some units. Both of those statues are ensnared, and now that is going to be the last statue standing. Will it be no statue standing? It seems like. Maybe? Oh, there we go. Death Coil to finally heal up that destroyer. Armor supply is still pretty even. That Kotobe's loss was a pretty big table turner, I guess, but Berserkers just, they finally see the destroyer. They're gonna go right after it. Still not dead yet, but with the Death Knight out of mana, that is probably just going to be... Oh no, Focus Fire changed right onto the Lich, who got a pretty devastating War Stomp in his face. No mana on the Death Knight, and that is just going to be, I guess, 1-0 piecing out, because, yeah, losing the Destroyer probably wouldn't have mattered too much, but losing that Lich was probably a sign of overextension there. Yeah, that was a bit disastrous. I thought FoCuS was losing a little too much in this game, but thankfully he did get that very, very lucky break, and he was able to at least halt 1-2-0's tracks just a little bit. This expansion will just continue on mining. It is about 2,000 gold, I believe? Yeah, 2,000 gold ahead of the Undead expansion. But at the same time, that is kinda scary. I mean, 1-2-0 able to put up very good fight, even 2,000 gold less mined, which is bit of a problem if you're FoCuS, I guess. He needs yeah, he needs something. He needs something tankier than, I guess, those raiders to eat up the undead spell combo, but it's so hard to find orc units that can do that. Raiders not only, I guess, can serve as some tanking, but they do serve as dual purpose for doing some DPS. But yeah, I'm surprised 1-2-0 doesn't have any abominations, which would very, very deal with those Berserkers, but as I say that, he is currently making one. He already has Banshees in the field as well, so those War Storms might prove to be a little obsolete now, I don't know. I'm not sure how those green shields will do when it comes to Serpent Wards. I'm pretty sure Serpent Wards still count as normal damage, so they don't get absorbed by the anti-magic shield shell.
Our forces are under attack.
But yeah, Banshees, and of course Curse. I mean, something that just can't go underrated at all. Curse, a little less consistent than Slow, but I mean, when those misses proc, that is definitely a lot more worth it than the consistency of Sorceress's Slow. Potential fight here. 8 supply ahead for 1-2-0. And here we go. Sleep onto the Eternal Chieftain. Is going to stop his tracks for that War Stomp just a little bit. No green shield just yet, as Master's Training... Is Master's Training? No. Additive Training is now complete, but hasn't had time to set up. Dreadlord still pretty in the thick of it, but he will be able to get healed up with the Death Coil eventually. Crypt Fiend got healed up instead, rather jealous, but Double Kodo is able to eat 2 Crypt Fiends by themselves, which makes them very, very worthwhile to keep around. It's just that you need to keep them alive just in case. Serpent Wards trying to do their best with DPS because they can't be cursed, so they are the most consistent DPS form. And the constant sleeps on the Eternal Chieftain just forces FoCuS to keep waking him up with that Shadow Hunter there. And it seems like 1-0 doesn't want this, and he is gonna just peace out. Which is rather surprising that he did, because looking over here, he is about 20 supply ahead, so either a lot of that is currently in the making, or he is just playing a little too cautious here. But either way, things are not looking good for FoCuS at all. +1/+1 on his Berserkers, but they just can't be doing too much because of that curse. That curse is so annoying to deal with, because it's 33% chance to just not do any damage with your hit. And most players don't even use their Berserk abilities, so they don't even benefit from an additional attack speed. So, yeah, it's such a conundrum for FoCuS to be in. Shadowhunter, halfway to level 6. Even the Death Knight is very close to level 6 as well. But I am having my doubts on whether or not Raise Dead will be used, because that is such a heavy investment in terms of mana. That level 3 Unholy Aura probably would just be a lot more beneficial. Lich is going to hit level 5 as well. Dreadlord just hit level 4, so it's going to take a while for him to get to that, I'm guessing, level 3 sleep. He picks up a 25 invuln though, so that is going to be extremely helpful for someone who, surprisingly enough, has been rather overextended for the majority of these fights. And he also has Talisman Evasion. Wow. Obviously double Talisman doesn't actually stack, but it does stack with the Curse, so that'll be really funny to see, with either misses on the Orc units or misses on the Dreadlord. So that'll be fun. I'm not sure if he's going to keep that second Talisman. Could work well with the Lich, but the Lich is currently actually full inventory, so probably not. Army supplies right now, FoCuS is at 80, so he's finally matched up with his opponent. 1-0 is at 78, so yeah, I guess it just depends on the hero's decision making and the comp, which right now, very well rounded for the undead player. Obviously, just very binary for FoCuS, just troll berserkers and raiders there. A very good number of troll berserkers, but not sure how well they're gonna do. It just looks so, I mean, like I said before, troll berserkers, favorite units ever. They look so spectacular running together. But yeah, honestly at this point, I would just activate Berserk because there's no real way of actually receiving damage back. So yeah, I just really don't know why people don't use Berserk on these kind of situations where there's absolutely no way for the enemy to attack back. And when you see that TP, you just obviously run away anyway. Wow, the Turret Chief is actually level 5 as well, so could go for a War Stomp, but he's constantly being slipped. There we go, is actually going to use Berserk in the middle of a fight, so yeah, obviously 1-0 is going to try and have a field day, trying to snipe down as many trolls as possible. Constant sleeps onto the Turret Chieftain there. We do have possession being used to steal these Kodo Beasts, and will we see another Banshee going for a position? Doesn't look like it, so that one Kodo Beast is going to be forced to get executed there. And with that turnaround, it seems like, yeah, FoCuS is going to be retreating. So thanks for the Kodo Beast. That is now 1-2-0s, and he now benefits from, I'm pretty sure, upgraded War Drums as well, so that is really helpful. It is upgraded, right? I actually have to see a new Kodo Beast, but yeah, that was pretty disastrous. I don't think 1-2-0 lost too much on his side there, as he still remains at 80. FoCuS is still forced to replenish his units. Pretty ballsy to expand like very close to your opponent, but I guess where there's a dominating army as 1-2-0 has right now, it doesn't really matter too much. Unless the expansion gets sniped, you know, really quickly, which might happen. Necropolis is going to be forced cancelled there, as another Nova is just going to do a ton of damage. Death Coil unable to finish the job there on one of those Berserkers, but can always come back. Abomination ensnared and FoCuS fired here. Will it be enough? Death Coil was able to heal him, and it seems like he will finally be able to be taken down. So no real meaty frontline aside from the heroes there. Constant War Stomps from the Turret Chieftain. He does have a mana pot just in case for another War Stomp there, and that is going to be, wow, Death Knight just sniped. 3 consecutive War Stomps. Troll Berserkers just throwing their spears at him, and now the Dreadlord is next, is going to pop at least a 15-second invuln there, or a 7-second one. Surprised he kept 25, but that is going to wear off, and with, yeah, that is really weird. He popped the lower second invuln, and that puts the 25 one on cooldown, so he can't use it again. So little confused on why he did that. He definitely should have used the 25-second one and run away, because there's no Death Knight to heal up. So yeah, a bit of a misplay there from 120. He might actually have to pay for it now, as he loses every single hero in this fight. Very disastrous. The Crypt Fiend's not even choosing to run away, which is amazing for FoCuS, who finally gets his level 6 on his Tauren Chieftain. That is really bad, because he was already hard to kill with the Rune Bracers and just being a strength hero in general. Now that he has Reincarnation, most likely, yeah, he is going to be extremely difficult to really kill. Shadowhunter is actually already level 6. Okay, so I didn't realize he was level 6, but then again, I didn't realize him using Big Bad Voodoo either, so not even sure if he even has it. He does have a Pocket Great Hole for any potential expansions here. It seems like another Horned Goldmine on the left side. So FoCuS is kind of getting out-farmed by his opponent, but oh yikes, the peasants are losing to Acolytes. That is rather embarrassing, and might be able to kill another one. Oh, these values on these Acolytes is so good. Will we actually see another one die? That is actually very loud. Wow, these Acolytes are actually going to kill every single peasant? Or peon? FoCuS has one more Acolyte. There we go. Great value there. 5 Acolytes for about 4 peons there. Really good. And I believe those units, those buildings did get unsummoned, so at least some resources were refunded. But yeah, that was just kind of pointless, to be honest. A little too much hype for just some worker action there. What was I getting at? This gold mine is gonna get finally consumed. So yeah, FoCuS is kind of screwed if he doesn't expand again, because this expansion is currently operational. I mean, this one's finally built and running, but some of his gold did get stolen by 120, so very cheeky from 120 there.
The sleeper awakes.
Yeah, if I am 120, I would definitely start using the anti-magic shield, because I'm pretty sure it's helpful against War Stomp. I don't actually remember if it actually negates the stun, but at least it negates the damage, which is something. Something. Banshees obviously could just save their mana for possessions, which is kind of hard to want because it could just easily be cancelled by a War Stomp, so a bit of a difficult position for the undead player to be in, but considering he has triple heroes, his late game is kind of secured as long as he get those two guys to level 6. I mean, both of the Orc heroes are level 6, so their power spike has already been hit. Let's see there, a very nice War Stomp, able to stop some of the Crypt Fiends there. A-Bomb is being focus fired, but is going to get healed up with a Death Coil, nicely done. As, yikes, I just keep seeing the misses, and that is rather disheartening to see. Nova onto a Raider there. Will we have a chain War Stomp onto these heroes? It doesn't seem like it, as Sleep was going to be cast, but Invuln is going to be used to prevent further sleeps for a couple of seconds. Death Coil able to heal up the Lich, and now it seems like yeah, the Tauren Chieftain just might be out of juice. Oh, never mind, he gets another mana pot. Lich is very low health, is going to pop in Invuln just in time. But it is now the Death Knight's turn to be a little scared there, because he could just be surrounded. But as I say that, it seems like the Dreadlord is also very low health as well. Man, these units just keep getting silenced and all that, but Death Knight actually did take Raised Dead, and he is going to be using those Troll Headhunters and Kodo Beasts to try and yeah, just try and turn things around. Dreadlord does get taken down. Hex onto the Death Knight. I believe the Shadowhunter went for a retrain, as the Lich is gonna get sniped with a Glaive. And that is probably going to be it, honestly. I don't really see too much that 120 can come back from this, because he is gonna lose his pretty much main gold mine. He lost 2 heroes, he lost a lot of units. And yeah, FoCuS is... I'm pretty sure FoCuS is just running on bank now because he hasn't actually spent too much to make units again, so yeah, kind of screwed for 1-2-0. FoCuS was able to actually just clinch it with very nice war stomps. He powered through the curses despite the many miss procs there. He does have Spirit Walkers, but I think they were mainly just used for Spirit Link instead of Disenchant. Oh yeah, it's really tough for 1-2-0 right now. It does have triple destroyers, but with so many berserkers on the field, and raiders with ensnare, they're gonna have a tough time just staying alive. And the Death Knight can only heal one person, and even then it is a rather big struggle because Shadowhunter retrained for Hex instead of keeping those Serpent Wards. So yeah, FoCuS played really well in terms of micro play. I might actually get a level 8 Shadowhunter if this game goes on any longer. Turn Chieftain is at 7 as well. Probably not gonna hit 8, I don't know, but yeah, he does have level 3 Endurance Ore now. Dreadlord finally has a level 5. I'm not sure if it's a really big power spike because sleep is not... doesn't really scale too well versus heroes. He definitely needed his level 6 to rain down some fire because Inferno would help a lot. Lich, not sure how much his ultimate ability will do. It's very interruptible, I will at least say. Oh, but he got the Potion of Divinity, so if he wants to, he can go for a full channel. The main problem is keeping those opponent units there is kind of difficult. So, oh, FoCuS actually spent a lot of resources, so he's either upgrading or he is doing something big. He is not upgrading, but he did buy multiple mini Great Halls, so I guess that's where it went. Just a future investment, but honestly at this point the game's kind of clinched for him. He even has another tiny Great Hole for when he takes down this Haunted Gold Mine. He will claim for himself, and then on. 1-2-0 only has about this gold mine left, which only has 30 gold. So yeah, once you starve your opponent of his only resource, cheeky Great Hole already. Not even like secured the gold mine yet. It's just gonna place it down. Here we go with a fight. War Stomp is going to hit those 2 heroes there. Actually, it hit all the heroes, but not much being done. Berserker is going to trigger their Berserk and go after, it seems, the destroyers maybe? Yep. Instant destroyers are being taken down one by one. Death Coils, we haven't actually seen any Death Coils being tossed. Finally is going to save one of those Grip Fiends, but again, destroyers are still being targeted there and will be taken down. That is now all the destroyers taken down. Potion of Divinity has been used for the Lich. Can he actually use anything for it? I don't know. He is going to hit level 6 very soon. It's looking pretty bad for 1-2-0. His supply is just getting cut constantly. Dreadlord might be the next focus fire here for FoCuS, as the sleep once again comes down on the Eternal Chieftain, so no more War Stomps. At least until he gets waken up again. We got War Stomp. I mean, FoCuS ideally wants to hit Death Knight to prevent any future heals, but honestly at this point you might as well get what you can get. Never mind, he hits Death Knight anyway since it's a pretty large AoE. Coda Beast is going to get taken down, giving level 6 to the Lich, but he is not really in good position for Death and Decay. Nova to just take down a Berserker, but honestly just small little bits being traded for huge targets here. Another Obsidian Statue gets taken down as yeah, I mean, FoCuS can take these trades because he can't afford to just remake his army. 1-0, not so much because he only has 1 gold mine left, if he can even secure it, as it seems like the final destroyer might just get taken down. No, I mean, there's so many targets, very low hit point, that FoCuS can just go after, as the Lich is also running with orange health. Nice and Snare will be able to take down the final destroyer there. and that hits level 8 for the Shadowhunter, so I'm not sure if we're going to see the return of Serpent Wards, but it is always nice to just get that level up bonus. Oh, Revenge. Peasants going straight after those Acolytes there. Unsummoning yet again, but honestly at this point it doesn't really matter too much because that is pretty much just going to be game. As, yep, FoCuS has 1, 2, oh no. Oh, I guess the expansion got taken down. He now has 3 mining, 3 gold mines mining off of, so yeah, talk about economic advantage. Nice Nova Coil, but it is nice as a final hurrah because that is just going to be game, I believe. 29 versus 58, just a huge supply deficit between these two players, and yeah, the Tauren Chieftain actually coming in clutch, very much so, with his War Stomps there. Very rarely do you see Orc players utilize something other than damage to get a victory, but yeah, FoCuS did show very well with his War Stomp selections. Especially that triple War Stomp to take down the Death Knight. That was amazing to see. But yeah, 1-0 on the other hand, I'm rather disappointed that he didn't at least try to use his green shields. Other than that, I can't really think too much else. I mean, I'm just here under the assumption that the Anti-Magic Shell at least does very well into War Stomp, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But either way, that is going to be the Death Knight taken down. Level 8 for the Tauren Chieftain. I didn't actually think he would make it, but yeah, 1-0 actually stuck around long enough for that to happen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. The score is now 2-1 to FoCuS. If you guys want to watch the previous FoCuS versus 1-2-0, as you can see, it was the last matchup was the video 24, so yep, that is going to be that. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again next time.